5-1. Ratios. A ratio is a comparison of two quantities using division. For example, let's say that your team scored 20 points and the other team scored 17 points. So you could say the ratio of those scores is 20 to 17. Or you could write it 20 to 17. Or you could even write your ratio 20 with the colon to 17. Those are the three ways you can write a ratio. A ratio compares real life numbers like scores, or let's say we had 6 students wearing a green shirt and 5 students wearing a white shirt. So the ratio would be 6 to 5, or 6 to 5, or 6 to 5. 3 ways you can write ratios. Pretty simple. Now, one thing to know about ratios. When you're writing them like this, even though you're using a fraction bar, you're using it to show division. You don't ever make a ratio a mixed number, because then you wouldn't be comparing two things. You have to have the two things that you're comparing. You can reduce ratios. In fact, you have to reduce them sometimes. So be on the lookout for things that can be reduced. Let's keep going. Now, let's say you had a basket of fruit. In the basket of fruit, there were 6 apples, 4 bananas, and 3 oranges. Could you write the ratio of bananas to apples? Okay, that means you're going to take 4 to 6. Or you could write it 4 to 6. Or you could write it 4 to 6. And sometimes the book is going to say, write it all 3 ways. Okay? What if it said the number of oranges to the total number of fruit? Oranges to total fruit. What would you do? The first thing I would do is add up all the fruit. Let's see, I got 6 apples, 4 bananas, that's 10. I got 13 pieces of fruit. So, oranges are 3, right? Total fruit is 13. So could I write the ratios in all 3 forms? Sure. I would go oranges, 3, to fruit, 13, 3 to 13, and I would go 3 to 13. That's writing a ratio in all 3 forms. Now, sometimes in the directions, when they want you to write ratios, they put these words, in simplest form. What does that mean? Well, that means reduce. So, here's the problem. In a 40-gallon aquarium, there are 24 goldfish and 8 angelfish. Write the ratio of goldfish to angelfish in simplest form. So, you go, oh, well, there's 24 goldfish, there's 8 angelfish. Now, it said in simplest form. So, could I divide both of those numbers by any other number and reduce it? Well, look. They both divide by 8. So 24 divided by 8 is 3. And 8 divided by 8 is 1. Now, when you get to this point, you are very, very tempted to go, oh, that equals 3. And it does, but this is a ratio. And so we have to have something compared to something. Remember? Something compared to something. So if we just put 3, we would lose this. Because this is saying for every 3 goldfish, there's 1 angelfish. See? So we have to leave it like this. This is our final answer. Now, sometimes in ratio problems, they like to put a chart, and then they tell you about it. This one says, tell whose DVD collection has the greater ratio of comedy movies to drama movies. See, so when you read the chart, you have to say, well, Bob has 5 comedy and 3 drama, and Sue has 7 comedy and 5 drama. So we have to make 2 ratios, and our ratio has to go with what it said in the problem. It said the greater ratio of comedy movies to adventure movies. So we want comedy to drama, not adventure, sorry. Comedy to drama. Okay? So we're going to go, okay, Bob, he's got 5 comedy, 3 drama. Sue, she's got 7 comedy, 5 drama. Now, how do I tell which one of those is greater? Well, the way to tell which one of those is greater, because they're ratios but they're written as fractions, is to cross multiply up. 3 times 7 is 21. 5 times 5 is 25. Remember, you have to cross multiply up, though, not down. It's got to be cross multiply up. So who has the greater ratio? Well, Bob, because he's got the bigger number. He's got 25, Sue's got 21, Bob. So when you actually answer this question, you have to say Bob. That's the answer. You don't say 5 to 3, you don't say 25, because it said in the question, tell whose. That means tell the name. So it's Bob. Okay, here's your video homework. Notice you have a chart over here that gives you some information about a bunch of kids' favorite music. And then you have some instructions. Notice the instructions are different. Number 1 says write the ratio in all 3 forms. Number 2 says write the ratio in simplest form. Make sure you take note of those directions. Have a lovely evening.